Hi, I'm Arthur Benjamin alongside Bandit and Farah White, and we're back with For the Love of Dogs.
Today we're going to introduce you to the Dallas Companion Animal Project, which started back in July 2011 and was appointed by the City of Dallas to help end the senseless killing of adoptable animals. Maeleska Fletes with DCAP is here today along with Tammy Lewis, and they're going to share the vision of how they help the homeless population here in Dallas. Welcome to the show, you guys.
Hi.
Glad you're here, and tell us who you have with you.
This is Petey.
Yes.
He is up for adoption. He's about 8 months old, rat terrier mix.
Oh.
Through Cody's friends.
Nice. So, hey, meow, 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 meow. There he is.
And Petey just wants to, he's whining because he wants to play with Bandit.
He wants to play.
He loves Bandit.
Oh, and now who else do we have with us?
This is Lucas. He's a little over 2. He's with Cat Matchers, and I've had him since he was probably only 6 or 8 weeks old.
And the amazing thing about him is how docile and quiet and wonderful he is. He'd make anybody a great couch potato companion.
That's
with
right.
every dog in my house and all the cats, too.
Oh, how nice is that? Now, how did you first get involved with DCAP, Maeleska?
Well, I'm on the Animal Shelter Commission, and the committee was formed from the city council formed the committee, and I became part of that because of being on the commission, and have taken the ball and just have run with it. We're really trying to make changes in Dallas.
Well, Dallas was really a different place before you got started. Can you tell us a little bit about what it was like and the immediate changes that you saw take place?
Yes. Well, there's too many animals in the city shelter. The euthanasia numbers are just outrageous, and through many changes, along with the new director of the shelter, there's been lots of more animals getting out and not being euthanized.
So what kind of changes?
Well, there's the rescue, working with different rescue groups. There is more adoptions. There's more discount adoption, more outreach programs that the city shelter itself is doing, along with Dallas Companion Animal Project, and just getting the word out there that there's too many animals. Spay neutering through the Big Fix. That's another way to get animals, stop the multiple animals.
And that's a project with the SPCA.
Along with the SPCA, Feral Friends, Kaufman County Animal Project, and the SPCA, yeah, and the City of Dallas.
Now, did you model DCAP after any other communities, or
a lot of different communities, and we're trying to follow the plan of Animals Alive plan. You can go online and look at it, but there's lots of different cities that we're trying to follow their leads.
What are your biggest challenges in working with DCAP?
Education, getting people to understand what the problem is, volunteers, spay neutering, getting people to spay and neuter their animals, and funds, of course.
Well, and that's consistently been something that I know rescuers alike everywhere have been trying to do is the spay neuter message, and to get that across.
Oh, yeah.
So are there some certain ways that you're trying to do that?
We are participating in lots of different events around town. We did the Pet Expo. We also have an outreach program that we've done in the past at the Dallas Can Academy. Through the Big Fix, we got several animals spayed and neutered, and we also had a vaccination clinic, and they were open to people in the area, low-income target areas.
So aside from saving the lives of homeless dogs, there are some other goals, aren't there?
Oh yes, there of course is the educating people on how to take care of their pets, and there's the vaccination clinics so that people can keep their animals vaccinated and healthy, so that they can remain in the homes instead of taking the shelters because they can't afford their help to take care of them. There is the excuse me.
No, it's okay. It's nice to have all of those resources to help you. Now, how do you get the funding?
Well, we're looking for some grants. We're trying to get grants, of course, and through donations. You know, we're always looking for donations of not just money, but dog food. Through we that with one of our outreach programs, leashes, collars, just about anything that we could help people to take care of their pets with.
So I'm guessing, because I mean, I've just recently rescued 2 dogs, literally last week, that I just picked up and other people ended up helping me with, but you don't think about that. You have to have bowls, and you have to have the food, and you have to, you know, then you've got your vet expenses right away. So do you guys have any relationships with people that offer you get those discount services from anywhere in particular?
Yes, well, mostly we use the Dallas Companion, the DCAP, Kaufman County Animal Project. They do have the program, part of the Big Fix, like I mentioned before. They also have vaccination clinics. There are vets around town that will work with different rescue groups, and we try to, at DCAP, we try to connect the two. Basically, we try to pull together all of the resources, not only for the average person, but for the rescue groups. Because if we can empower the rescue groups to help more animals, then again, there's more animals saved.
And you help cats too.
Absolutely, cats.
What is VetNet?
VetNet is a program that has just started through the Dallas Animal Shelter. That they get way too many kittens in. The small kittens, you know, they just really, it's not a safe place for them. So they're joining hands with the SPCA and hopefully many vets in the area that they can get those tiny babies out of the city shelter. The SPCA will vet them, and then we can move them into the different vets around town that can put them up for adoption. Literally put them in a little showcase right out in the waiting area. And so their people can see the animals.
And Tammy, you've got some cats at home as well, right?
I do. Mine are all FIV positive.
Oh,
That's what I do, and they are even harder to adopt out.
Yes, but I understand that they can actually live and have very normal lives.
Oh yeah, I have 2 of my own, and I have 2 FIV fosters, and they're no different than any other cat as far as how long they live and things like that.
And no danger to human beings.
Nope, it does not pass from species to species. It's only passed through deep wounds, so you have to have one that fights. And that can be a problem. I did have one for a short time that would start, a cat fight, so that cat could not stay, but most of them, if that's not a problem, then they can be in homes with non-FIV cats.
So how does Lucas get along with the cats?
Lucas loves cats. Lucas loves everyone.
Lucas loves everybody.
Don't you, Lucas, yeah. Big or small, Lucas loves.
Yeah.
Aw.
You know, part of the show is getting people to see some amazing dogs, and Lucas is one of them. It's, as I said before, you know, a couch companion. He is just the sweetest, calmest little boy, and in a bit we're going to get Petey back on, and we're going to let Bandit and Petey play so that folks can see how wonderful. I'm going to grab his leash, as a matter of fact, somewhere down here.
That. You know, what's funny is that different people require and want different types of pets. You know, so people that are very active and get outside a lot, you know, they may want a pet that's more active versus, you know, other people that come home from a hard day's work, they may want a dog that can relax with them. So that's another message that I bet you guys have to try to get out, is that in the event you end up giving some animal to a foster, if it doesn't work out, that's okay, right? And what do you generally suggest they do? Look how cute.
Well, you want to know the whole family, not just, you know, the dog that's going into the family. You know, if you want to make sure that if it's an active family, which is what Petey here would need, that the other animals in the house are active too.
Petey needs another dog to chew on, a chew toy.
He does, and to run with, and to play with, and to wrestle with.
Well, they're about the same age.
Yeah, they're both about 8-9 months, and this is, you know, these are 2 dogs who get along. You can see how well they get along, and they've just met just before the show, and look at what great companions they are.
Now, you had an outreach program in June.
We did, and it was at the Dallas Can Academy in Pleasant Grove, and that's when we had our spay, neuter, and vaccination clinic. And we had fun for the family. We had a bouncy house. We had a dog trainer there to give people any hints to help with their animals. Free gifts. The City of Dallas shelter was there handing out their information. And we hope to plan a lot more.
Yeah.
A lot more in those areas. We've also had a connection with the Crossroads, which is the Methodist and Presbyterian Church food bank, basically. And we have been supplying them with dog food to give along with the food to the families.
Oh.
We're working on getting cat food for them also. We haven't done that yet, but we hope to be able to supply these folks with what they need.
Yeah, well, that's such a great idea, because I truly think one of the dogs that I found on the side of the road last week, it seemed perfectly healthy. I think that they just couldn't afford maybe to continue feeding him anymore.
There's a lot of that.
Are you hearing a lot of that?
Yes, yes. And unfortunately, some of those dogs are just let go.
Yeah.
And they're run the street, and sometimes they're taken to the shelter.
Yeah.
But we hope to empower these families to be able to keep their family members by offering the food and low-cost vaccines and spay and neuter, and the education to know why all those things are important. You know, we hope to educate them too. So.
How much food does it take?
You know, we don't have the numbers yet, but so far we have delivered 3,500 pounds, and they've gone through it quickly.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and this is only one facility. We hope to be able to do these across the city one day. So we're looking for contacts for either discounted food, people that want to donate towards the discounted food, and free food.
Well, you actually have a pet store that's willing to sell you the food at cost.
Yes, we can get it at cost, and so therefore we will need donations to help pay for that
Anybody
food.
need a face wash?
Yes. Yeah,
Free
we didn't
face
know there were
wash.
facials involved. Well, how many animals do you think you guys are helping right now, or have helped since you've started?
You know, it's hard to say the exact number because we're doing so many different things and things that you don't immediately see the outcome. But, you know, I know there's 30-something animals that are spayed and neutered that are not reproducing now because of the one event. So, so we hope to help a lot more and not even know exactly what the numbers are.
Yeah, which makes sense.
And the big fix, it's $20 to spay or neuter a dog if you're...
And vaccines and city registration.
Oh, wow.
If you live south of 30.
Really?
Yeah.
That's incredible.
It's unbelievable. I mean, it is something that everyone needs to know about.
How are you getting that word out?
Through, you know, there's lots of different groups that have it, but, you know, Facebook, sending out emails. I know that it was in, or it's going to be in the water bill. You know how you have the little information in there. There's SPCA is doing a lot to spread the word. It's a great program.
Now, Tammy, when did you get involved in rescuing?
A couple of years ago, I had to rehome a dog that was aggressive with all my other dogs. And there was a group that helped me rehome her, and then I volunteered with them for a while. And then I discovered that, boy, you can find a dog on every corner. And sometimes they get dropped off at your door.
Yeah, you know, we had someone on the show that got 3 toy cup chihuahuas dropped off on their door.
Yeah, one of the cameramen here had 3 little applehead chihuahuas dropped off, and he found homes for 2 of them, and he's got one that he claims looks exactly like Bob Hope.
Right. Too bad we don't have an image to go to.
He must be a comedian.
I bet we can show that image, because he sure is cute.
Yeah, he's adorable.
Now, do you think that Dallas can ever become a no-kill city?
I'm certainly counting on it. I'm spending a lot of my time working towards it. So yes, I think so. It's going to be, you know, it's going to take a little while. There's a lot of education that needs to be done. I mean, there are people that just don't understand the importance of spay-neuter, the importance of vaccinating your animal, or, you know, simple things like leaving your dog in the car during the summer. You know, you can't leave an animal in the car with the windows up. Right. You know, there's a lot of education that needs to be done through the city.
It can get to be 140 degrees in a car in no time. And dogs don't have the perspiration glands we do, so they cannot survive at that kind of temperature, and only takes 10 minutes or so for a car to really heat up.
Yeah, you just kind of can't do it at all. So what are some of your hopes or some of your goals? Are there certain things that you want to achieve with DCAP?
Yeah, there's a lot of things we want to achieve. But I think personally myself, I'm focusing on the spay-neuter at this point. When you see the numbers of animals that come into the shelter, that even with the numerous rescue groups and empowering them as much as you can, there's just too many animals in the world. There's just too many.
Yeah.
So if we can get those numbers down, then maybe we can get a better grip on, you know, helping the different rescue groups, you know, to find homes for all the animals. I just don't think there's enough homes.
Yeah, no, there's, with them breeding uncontrolled, yeah, there's not. Well, help us and help our viewers understand, walk us through like what a typical day is for you as a rescuer.
Oh, as a rescuer? Well, there's lots of emails, there's
Yes.
lots of phone calls, and then it's time to get ready and go to work, get ready for work and go to work. There's many emails and phone calls and things throughout the day. Some pertain directly to the Dallas Companion Animal Project, and then there's, you know, being a rescuer, you get phone calls and emails about animals that have been, you know, dumped off in the street or left in a backyard tethered, or, you know, many things. So then you call the different folks to see if somebody can help, you know, or maybe that evening you yourself go out into a rougher part of town and grab a bunch of puppies, or maybe a poor mangy starving dog, or, you know, it's a lot of work. I mean, as long as we can get the word out there that seeing that stray dog walking down the street is not okay. Something needs to be done.
Right.
You know, call the city if nothing else. I mean, life on the street is much harder than, you know, being euthanized at the city shelter.
And there's a special number in Dallas, 311,
311.
and that'll get you through to Animal Services.
It does. It does.
Yeah, I think oftentimes people, they don't realize that it really is so much more cruel to just let that animal who's been domesticated out, you know, to run around and try to fend for itself. And I keep referencing these two dogs that we had found. The problem there is I think they had driven them to the country and just dropped them off. So there's also no water anywhere, which of course is one of the biggest problems.
Not only that, but dogs live for the companionship of human beings once they've been domesticated and lived with a family, and it's very hard for them. It's not just the survival in terms of food and water, but
Sure.
it's that they're lonely.
Well, absolutely, and I think it's just heartbreaking. As you know, I'm sure you've seen, you know, these animals with abandonment issues.
Oh, yeah.
And probably some abuse and things like that. So, I mean, what you guys are doing is fantastic. And the fact that you're actually taking it on, because it is, even just those just two last week, it was overwhelming. And it was so scary, and there's so much involved with that I think, you know, sometimes people can be a little afraid, but you don't have to be. There's lots of rescues that can
I'd love to get a
help.
couple of close-ups of these guys now that they've settled down, and what
Yeah, they're
wonderful,
beautiful animals.
Wonderful. Look at that. I mean,
Look.
it's just little activity and
Right.
a little bit of exercise, and they settle down for just the companionship of a human being.
I was going to say, I know a lot of people that I bet they wish their kids would pilfer out like that in 30 minutes. And then this guy, he's just cool.
They're both special animals.
Yes, they are. If you want to learn more about the Dallas Companion Animal Project,
Or adopt one of these
or
two
adopt
beautiful
one of
dogs.
these two beautiful dogs, or see the other dogs that they have, you can go online to dallascompanionanimalproject.org. And if you have any questions about how you can help, you can email them at dallascompanionanimalproject@gmail.com. You guys will put your emails up on the screen so everyone can see. And thank you so much for coming out today and for bringing your friends.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. It's I hope that someone will see this program and someone will help rescue these dogs
And volunteer.
and volunteer.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Bandit says, we'll be right back.
It does say we'll be right back. And actually, we're going to talk about Houston.
Welcome back to the Love of Dogs TV, and we're going to talk about the United States Humane Society just doing it again. 298 pit bulls rescued from horrific conditions in the Houston area.
Yeah, the Humane Society is doing such an amazing job. I'm so happy that they continue to do so. And aren't you? You're on the board.
I'm on the National Council of the
National
Humane
Council.
Society, and the rescue corps, the rescue team, is very important to American Dog Rescue.
Yeah, well, didn't American Dog Rescue donate a truck or like a rescue vehicle?
We helped fund their last smaller van, holds about 100 animals, but can go anywhere and has the state-of-the-art conditions for those animals. So they've pulled everything from roosters to dogs to other small animals like lizards and snakes out of conditions that they needed to be safe from. But in this case, this is a horrific animal abuse situation where, as I said, almost 300 pit bulls were living in conditions, squalid conditions, where they were in cages that were too small for them to stand and turn around. Some of them had to be cut out of the cages. That's how long it had been since they got out.
Goodness.
They were having to pick amongst their own feces for the food that was left in there. There was no fresh water. There was no ventilation in the buildings. It's just horrible. 38 of them had died in one of the buildings because the fans stopped running. We're talking about Houston, humidity and heat, and
Sure.
The sanctuary was known as Spindletop, and I bring that up because it's important for people to know it was a reputedly great sanctuary, and many people sent their pit bulls there, and there's an opportunity to get them back.
Yeah, I actually heard that some of the owners showed up in court with pictures of their dogs trying to get their dogs back because people had sent their dogs there as a place for them to kind of grow old and retire and live the rest of their lives. And clearly, no one would drop their animals off in conditions like those. You know, they thought that was going to be a safe place for their
I
loved
know
ones
somebody
to go
who
to.
actually sent their pit bull there
Really?
because they thought it was a place that the dog could live out its life, and what a terrible thing for dogs to be condemned to that.
Very, very sad. And you know, I think probably that might happen a little more often than we think, is that people may start out with really good intentions, but then for whatever reason, whether it's their personal lives or you know, lack of funding, or end up, you know, with lack of help, they may really be wanting to do the right thing, but then, you know, end up letting it get away from them. And certainly, you know, it is unacceptable for it to ever go to conditions like that. So,
Well, we won't make any judgment about the people who are involved here because this is an
No.
abuse case that's under investigation
Of
by
course.
local law enforcement, and they'll
Sure.
have to stand up to the criminal charges that are.
well, and
You
you do what you do, right?
Yeah,
Everyone's got to be responsible for that. So
there is karma.
There is karma. And we talked about 311, which is, of course, the system that's in place
In the
anytime.
Dallas area.
That's right. So do we know what that would be in Houston?
You call 911. In any
911.
area outside a city that's designated a special number, Dallas being a really unique situation. I don't know of
Yeah.
another city in the country that has a special animal services number, but even here, if it's an abuse emergency situation, you still dial 911 because there are more personnel that are available under a 911 situation than 311 is for a dog that or cat that's out and needs to be picked up, and there's time.
For animal, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. Yeah, that's very sad about the pit bulls, and I think that pit bulls in general already, you know, have so much trouble as far as finding a, you know, fostering or a shelter, and they really are such a sweet breed. They're like any other breed, right? It's all about the owners, not the dogs.
Yeah,
So-
it's they do have some qualities about them that can be brought out with training and fighting, but they
you could
were-
say
they
the
were
same thing about
originally
me.
they were. I would say the same thing. They were originally bred actually to care for young children.
Aw.
I mean, that's one of the uses, that they were left at home with young children to take care of them because they would protect them, and they're kind and gentle, left to their own intrinsic nature.
Yeah, the whole thing is very important.
Unlike Bandit, who's actually an aggressive
Yeah, Bandit, again, he's just pretty vicious.
fight dog.
That's why he's always in your lap. It's because I'm fearful that he might get me at some point.
But this was in Willis, again, the name of the sanctuary was Spindletop, and if you had a dog there, and we'll see that the information is on the end of the show here, where you can reach out to and see if you can get your dog back, because a lot of people are guilty. They sent their dogs there and want to see if they're alive. The 38 dogs that died were buried in a mass grave. The authorities, it was the local police authorities, about 7 or 8 people from there, and about 7 or 8 people from the Humane Society, with volunteers and vets from the local area, the Houston area, that went down, and 38 dogs just died in an afternoon.
That is unbelievable and awful. I hate that part of it, you know? It's like you try so hard with different rescue attempts and rescue organizations, and I guess they're always going to be the ones you can't get to in time or help. But something like that, yeah, those people need to face the consequences for what they've done.
We always have to remember what it's like for the ones we do save. I mean, Bandit himself was going to be put down by a breeder just because he didn't have the use of his rear legs when he was born, and little rehabilitation and a lot of love, and look at him today. He can jump like a kangaroo.
And play, and we have footage of him jumping and playing. Well, and Maeleska Fletes and Tammy Lewis were so nice to come out today and visit our set and bring their dogs.
From the Dallas Companion Animal Project.
That's right. Decap and Bandit, I know, sure appreciated that, and you probably appreciate that too, because now he's exhausted as well.
Well, he's got to make a long trip this afternoon to San Antonio.
Yes, he does, because you're going to go be in a movie in San Antonio, aren't you?
Champion.
That's right.
Your movie.
Yes, right. Big thanks to American Dog Rescue there. So remember, as always, follow us on Facebook and YouTube and Twitter, please, please. And you can always go to AmericanDogRescue.org and find out more.
We'll be back next week.